We're asking you to help us help you by giving us a list of women you think you want to meet. Now, sometimes you might not meet all the women on that list. Sometimes you might not meet any. Sometimes you might meet all of them. For the vast majority of these women, when they're at their social, that's why they're there. They want to meet someone. You guys tell me that's why you're there. You want to meet someone for a serious relationship. So when you put those two populations of individuals together in a nice environment that could create kind of speed dating, controlled, all that, and everyone's comfortable, everyone feels good, and then you add a little champagne maybe, and you stir the pot a little bit, things happen, things pop. That's why we get engagements on these tours. That's why these are happening. Because you're not just going to some random nightclub and just going up and talking to some random woman, but she's married or she's this or she's that. Well, these are individuals that say they want to be there. They want to meet someone, and that's why they're there. So that's why I love our group tours, because they're the most effective and efficient way you go about doing it. The other great thing about those group tours is that you're going to have the opportunity to meet people you never knew you wanted to meet. Because when you go on our tours, you can give us a list of these women that you think you want to meet, and we will try to have them at the social events so you can meet them, right? But then there's other women that you never knew you wanted to meet that you're going to run into. And just by being there, and a lot of times you'll end up marrying women you never knew than the ones that you really thought you wanted to meet. Why it's so important to go to all the socials, give yourself that opportunity. I said earlier, 90% of success in life, maybe not that much, but close, is just showing up, just putting yourself in an opportunity to be successful. Well, you're not going to be successful by sitting there writing letters all the time and just hoping something's going to happen, because it's not. I'll be the first one to tell you that. But if you actually go over and you meet these women, it's amazing what guys will do for love. But the problem is sometimes, especially guys who maybe haven't dated a lot in a while, and all of a sudden you meet a woman and she's being nice to you and you think this is it. So you blow every other opportunity, but then in a week or two, it's not it anymore. It doesn't really work out, and you've got no other backups. You didn't give yourself the opportunity to meet all the other women you could have met. I'm not saying you want to, look, some guys are like, I can't just do that. I feel like I'm cheating. I feel like this. Guys, it's dating. It's dating. And yes, you're polite to these women you're meeting. You're going out. You're not out there having sex with every woman you meet. This isn't what this is. It's not a sex tour. It's an opportunity to meet these different women. You're being polite to them. You're respecting them. But you're also dating. And so you got to keep that in mind. Because women sometimes don't want you to be so needy and clingy. They're like, okay, I met you. Now, I'm yours for the next 3 or 5 days, or whatever it is that you're there for, right? And I'm going to spend every waking hour with you now. Sometimes you scare the hell out of the woman. That's just too much, too fast, right? So sometimes it's good to have a little bit of just mystery, a little bit. Not playing games, but you just don't want to throw everything out all at once. And some guys do that way too fast. You got to be careful about that. We're asking you to help us help you by giving us a list of women you think you want to meet. Now, sometimes you might not meet all the women on that list. Sometimes you might not meet any. Sometimes you might meet all of them. It just really depends, because we don't put a gun to the women's head and say, okay, you got to meet Richard. We just don't do that. We don't pay the women to go meet you. Okay, that's not what this is about. So it's free will. But for the most part, you'll be able to meet some of those women on your list, either at the social, if they don't want to go to the social. Then you go into what we call the hospitality room, which is a room kind of like this, a little bit smaller, and it's staffed by our matchmakers, and you're assigned certain matchmakers. And they're going to spend their time working with you during that whole group tour period, whether it's 10 days, 7 days, 14 days, whatever you choose. And they're going to help you with dates, right? And even while you're out on a date, they're going to be calling and making dates for you. And then they're going to call you and say, by the way, now you have a date from 3 and 3, and you got 1 and 5, right? Now, the one thing I would ask you guys is to not let your heart get bigger than your capacity to date. Because, in Colombia, for example, they do a great job of arranging dates. Problem is, you guys think you can date like a machine, and you can't. You're trying to arrange 3, 4, 5 dates a day, which they'll do if you really ask them to do it. But then you're not being able to do it. My point is, is these matchmakers, just like all these women here at you saw, they do a great job. They care about you. They're helping you. They're getting to know you. I mean, my God, they all have honorary psychology degrees at this point. We're working with everybody, the men and the women, right, in this dating thing. And you walk into that office, they have a list. They know about you, and they can talk to women about you, and you're giving them these different women you think you want to meet, and then they're making recommendations for you as well. And then they're setting you up on these dates, and you're going out on these dates, and you're meeting these different women. I mean, if you thought about what that would cost here in the United States to go in and have a personalized matchmaker for you, calling and setting up to 2-3 dates a day, plus the penny of social where you're meeting hundreds and hundreds of women, what do you think you would pay here? I mean, it would be astronomical.
You too can experience the romantic adventure of a lifetime. Join men from all over the world as they take a trip and find their future brides.
Check out our website at costa-rica-women.com.